I spend more than my husband actually, but I wouldn't mind spending on him too. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'll do a 3.
What's your number?
3.
Yes.
1 to 10, 3.
Yes, so children in day now.
Exactly.
They are children.
So you can't spend more than 30% on your husband.
I've tried. Don't let me change my mind. Call me Shully.
Shully.
All right. We just go by my initials, MBA. Moses Babatuna Debodo. So MBA.
Okay, you're trying to form educated. Okay.
Well, for me, anybody giving anybody allowance? Are you serious? Well, a man should give a woman allowance.
Wow.
But for a woman to give a man allowance, I don't know. You know that's men ego. I'm not sure about that. It might be misinterpreted.
Okay,
so
let's ask the man.
Well, for me, in the context of marriage, yes, of course, there should be the man, as it is, should give an allowance to the woman, not necessarily to the woman, but at least for the home.
Okay.
But then going back to say, or let me just put it in a relationship,
yeah.
like I don't think the guy is obligated to do that.
For me, it should be whoever set up that first date. If it's coming from a woman, then she should be ready to pay for that. Of course, the man can opt out to say, well, let me pay, but it doesn't have to be, men all the time.
Continue.
Yeah, so it is the first date, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with that completely. Whosoever initiated the move initially, and I don't know. But of course, again, looking at it to say that the man is always the man is always, or men are always the one to take care of some basic responsibilities, and most often than not, it is always the man most times that usually initiates the first date. So of course, the first date, I think the guy
not
should.
In this age. Things have changed.
I agree.
I feel like it should be as soon as the opportunity presents itself, because a subject that you can't dodge is something that should be discussed. So, well, as soon as both parties are ready, it should be discussed.
For me, from my perception, if it is a marriage relationship, yes, of course, finance is very, very paramount. But if it is normal relationship, the question is, are we coming together because of my money, or because of your money, or because of what I can give you or what I can give to me? Anyway. Okay, at least from the way you said I have been responding to the question, you know that it will have been very hard for you to date me while I was dating, because before you even get to where my money is, you will have, yeah, of course. But in the case of marriage, can I even say my wife can dupe me? Of course no, she can't, because whatsoever she's going to do with money, we have both agreed. So eventually, if the thing goes right or wrong, is our decision. Yes. So the issue of duping will have only come up in marriage, and I'm sorry, in dating relationship, yeah, and the likes, and then and I will, if I will understand that question, will be that okay, somebody lies to me, collect some money, and then move. Yeah.
Well, for me, I've been duped, and that is the truth, because when men will say, borrow me this money now, I'll pay you back, and you will never pay back. So that is duping. But on the
he doesn't have the
mood,
capacity to pay.
So why will he borrow what he doesn't have? What
he didn't know that he will not be able to pay.
Are you playing?
Well, that is duping, in love. But at the same time, I feel like, honestly speaking, that I prefer you not to say borrow me. Just say, babe, you have this money, I need to do something, can you? And if I can, I'll say, okay, yeah, I can, I'll send to you.
Okay, so I think yes, borrow can come up. So if you want to do something, that applies to you alone and not what we both agreed to do, and you don't have enough resources, you can ask me to borrow you, and I'll borrow you, and I expect that you pay back.
Exactly.
Yes, I expect that you pay back.
Well, even having been duped will not change my answer. You should borrow, because sometimes, you know, your partner, your spouse may not want to do something, and maybe his own money is not forthcoming. So why not borrow? I agree. I've been thinking too. Well, there's a story for me. Yes, I was in a relationship, and then the person said, oh, let's do this business together, and I said, well, it's good. And initially I was skeptical, but eventually I agreed, and I transferred, you know, money to him for us to do the business together. And he came back, you know, like 2 years after, when the business, you know, boomed. And I said, well, how far now? How are we sharing this one? And he said, you never borrowed me any money, you never gave me any money.
Wow.
And I had to go and look for my account statement, and brought out, you know, the evidence that I gave him money. And he said, well, what I'm going to do is to just give back your 1 million that you gave me.
Wow.
Even though the investment was worth, that 1 million was worth about like 6 million, then he said he was going to give me 1 million. And I said, well, I can't force it out of you.
Sometimes back I was dating a lady, and then we said, okay, let's go into this business together. And then she gave me some money, maybe about 40% of money. I dropped 60% of it. But we were not in the same, we were living in the same neighborhood, or not necessarily, it was in the same state, but different areas, different cities. And so we started the business, and unfortunately the business didn't go well. So, but why we started, she came around, saw the whole plan and everything that we already got, and also she saw it, she confirmed it and all. But when the business didn't go well, she turned around to say I should give her money. I said, but this is business can either go right or wrong, so why are you asking me money? Because she know that I didn't do any business, that I just came to collect money from her with dubious means. But I said, but you came around, you saw this, and I said yes, that she later got to know, I don't know who told her anyway, that she later got to know that those things, I just set it up just to create camouflage, yeah, for her and all, that I didn't do any business, I stylishly collected money from her and all. And because it was a large amount of money, and of course for my own integrity's sake, I decided, I agreed to pay her back, but to spread it yet, and I paid every bit of it.
Well, I would say it depends again, because it depends on where you are in. I know that your location, if we are talking about a traditional couple in Nigeria dating before marriage, then anybody can pick the bill. If you are abroad, for example, you have to share the bill. Then as married couple now, I still think that you should share the bill, because that is the reality that we've come to, that we find ourselves, especially as from the context of being a woman, and we have come to accept that you don't want to kill your man with loads. So it's better you just share the bill, but that should be put in context. There should be mutual understanding. The man should not take advantage of that. We know that men are the cocoa, they are the real, they are the one that should take the bills, but women should assist in also settling some of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that completely. Okay, so for me, partner is wife, because I'm married. And then based on what I have been taught, and I know, and I have come to understand that my partner is the same as me. Yeah. So any amount I can spend on myself, I can spend on my partner.
Wow.
In fact, in reality, let me even shock you. In reality, my wife spends more money than me. Yeah, on herself. I'm talking about for personal. She spends more than what I spend on myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so riding on that Moses answer that women spend more, so I spend more than my husband actually, but I wouldn't mind spending on him too. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'll do a 3.
3.
Yes.
1 to 10, 3.
Yes, so children in day now.
Exactly.
They are children.
So you can't spend more than 30% on your husband?
I've tried. Don't let me change my mind.
But it's not the number. What's the number?
No, I've said it now. She even spend more, so I can spend more on her.
Okay.
So mine is 10. I can spend all my money on her.
Oh, wow.
Kudos.
Okay.
Okay, so naturally I'm a very frugal person when it comes to money. So I don't spend money on irrelevancies, and I try to instill that into my family, into my wife's psyche and the like. So number one rule: don't buy what you don't need. Don't.
Love it. Shully, what
Yeah,
do you think?
my number one rule is, because I believe in unconditional love. So my number one rule is never fight because of money. For me, my children, because each time I think about their future, I love to invest in their future. I want to give them the best possible within my capability. So because of that, I'm more prudent about spending.
So I mentioned that I'm kind of frugal or very prudent when it comes to money, and I think I picked that from my dad. Growing up, I realized that no matter how praised my dad is, if you give him money to keep for you, come back 10 years down the line, he will give you your exact money back anytime you need it. He won't say, oh, hold on, give me 1 minute, and in fact, you could even give him the exact notes that you are giving to him. So I picked that from him, and then he also doesn't spend on frivolities or things that are irrelevant. So that's number one. Then on that note, he helped me in making spending decisions and the likes. And then I have a few friends, 1 or 2 or 3 there, that also help in putting my thinking into perspective. You know, when they come around, they say, oh, I'm getting this, even though I'm not thinking about it, I'm like, if this guy can be doing this, are we not earning the same thing? Why can't they just also think towards that line? And also he pushes, and also I have about 1 or 2 friends in that light. And then number 3 will be my wife. And as you have said, you think about the future, and then you say, okay, this woman, I have to take care of her. Also the kids are coming, what do we need to do to secure the future? So those 3 things come together to make me a robust man in terms of finance.